How's Luke Kuechly doing?
I think he's doing all right. Obviously, that was a scary sight on Thursday, and forget how good of a player he is, forget any of that. Just to see one of your guys, visibly and understandably shaken up was a scary sight for everybody watching at home as well as all of us in the stadium. So, I think he's doing okay. I've seen him around the facility. Obviously those things are tricky, and our number one concern is just hopefully that he's okay, moving forward, not necessarily how fast we'll get him back on the field.
Well, look, I know you're not a doctor, nor am I, but I'm wondering if you can give some insight into what really disturbed me and disturbed a lot of fans was the tears. Was that something that was in real time where he realized something had happened to him and knows what those effects previously were and was reacting to it? Or was that something medical that he couldn't control, Greg?
I think it's hard. I think it's hard to speculate. I think it's hard to kind of speak on someone else's experience. Being in those situations and being in the heat of the moment sometimes, I think sometimes your emotions get the best of you. And I think there's a variety of reasons why that happens, whether injury-related or not, in games like this. He's an emotional guy. He's an intense guy. And I think for whatever reason, I think he would have to be the one to answer that. But it was obviously very emotional and very, it was hard to watch. I think it obviously was probably even harder for him to go through that. And, it was just a real scary scene and a scene that, makes you take a step back and just, really appreciate what guys are willing to put their bodies on the line and their lives on the line for this game. And, just take a step back and realize that these are guys, men, people playing this game. And, regardless of what team they're on and whether you root for them, those are sights that, nobody wants to see.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.